All right, so welcome to this session, and I hope all of you guys are doing good. So let's get started with today's discussion. So before we proceed further, I introduce myself. My name is Rahul Tiwari, having 15 plus years of experience into IT. I was coming from a non-technical background and I was a civil engineer. I joined my first company, that is Accenture, then I joined Capgemini, then Tech Mahindra, and then Deloitte. Currently, I am having my own startup into data science and machine learning, helping learners as well to transition into this field of data science. That is my background. So let's proceed further to understand what is the agenda for today. We are going to discuss about the concept again. We are assuming that you are having brief understanding of Python, and we are just going to talk about some more stuffs. So basically, we are going to talk about Python introduction. After that, we'll discuss who uses Python. Obviously, everyone now using Python. Then Python features, Python applications, data lifecycle. If you are into any data project, how the things will work, how the data is getting generated. Then what is data analysis? What is Pandas and Numpy? Data visualization. And we'll take one sample data set where we are going to use Titanic data set, which will help us to understand how things work, right? So that is the idea. So let's start. First of all, how to install Python. So there are various ways to install Python. You can use Anaconda distribution system. And from here, you can very well download. If you go to the products and look for Anaconda distribution, you will go and download this distribution system. When I click on this, you will get, if you go down, you will get the option here where you can see we are having based on the different machines, right? We can go and download Anaconda. Once you are installing Python from this using Anaconda distribution system, you will get various different data science packages. That is NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, Seaborn, and many more will come by default. If you are installing Python from Python website, then your data science packages will not come in. And in that case, you have to explicitly install that, which I'll show you how to do that later on. And the third way of installing, or I can say directly running Python from the cloud, is Google Collaboratory. You can go to Google, look for Google Collaboratory. You will get this page. Your account should be there in Google, and you can go and run Python from here also. This is like a Python on cloud given by Google for us to practice on Python. Now, once I install Anaconda, I will use my Jupyter Notebook. Jupyter Notebook is one of the GUIs or IDEs, integrated development environment, where I can write all my codes. The name Jupyter came in because I can write three types of programming language using Jupyter. One is Julia, second is Python, and third is R. If I click on this drop down, you can see Python because Python is an open source programming language free of cost. That's why that is the option coming in. When I click on that, you will get this page where you can write the code and we'll see that how it works. Now, Python is one of the very powerful programming language and it's most wanted programming language in the industry because there are various reasons for it. First of all, it's an open source programming language. There is no cost involved. It's very easy to understand. Here I am writing with a hash as a comment so that if I execute, nothing will happen. I don't want anything to print or something, so I'm just putting it hash in front of that. Easy to write, or I can say easy to code. It's a multi-purpose programming language. Now, what does that mean, multi-purpose programming language? I can do a lot of things using Python. One is I can, if I want to create a desktop application, for example, I want to create a hotel management system or I want to create a calculator. So in that case, I can go and I can use Python very well. I can create websites using Python. So web applications. I can create database applications. I can also create games using Python. For data analysis, data science, machine learning, AI, deep learning, everywhere Python is quite heavily used. So data analysis, data science, machine learning, then you are having artificial intelligence and deep learning. If I want to create a network application, I can use Python. If I want to do some Internet of Things application, IoT applications, I can use Python. And if I want to do automations, I can use Python as well. So for various different things, I can use Python, and that's why it is most wanted programming language in the industry. And I'll show you one simple code which can help you understand how easy for us to write the code. So basically, I'll write one simple code from random import star. I'll explain this. For I in range 0, 10, print randint 0, 9. So basically my intention is that I want to create a 6 digits OTP number for 10 times. So I created this code which is going to generate 6 digits OTP number 10 times. Here random is one of the inbuilt modules which comes with Python. If you are installing Python from Anaconda, or if you are installing Python from python.org, or if you are using Google Collaboratory, this particular module will be there. In that module, there is a function called randint, which will give me a random number from 0 to 9. For I in range 0, 10, so my I will iterate between 0 to 10, where 0 to 10 will give me 0 to 9. For example, let's say I'm writing here list of 0, 10, it will give me list of range of 0, 10, it will give me 0 to 9. So that is what you can see here. So my value of I will change from 0, 1, 2, 3 up till 9, and it will generate the 6 digit 10 times OTP. So basically my I value will be 0, then it will generate this number, then my I value will be 1, then it will generate this number. When my I value will be 2, it will generate this number, and so on. So that is how you can go ahead and you can create a code. So we are not having any knowledge as of now, but still I can understand a bit what's happening here. And that is the power of this particular programming language. If you are having a bit of knowledge, you will be able to learn this because it's more like an English language which you have. So that is the idea basically, that how things work. Now, which all companies are using it? All the companies these days are preferring to go with Python, whether it's Google, Meta, whatever companies, small companies, big companies, they are using Python quite drastically because again, no one likes complex coding. I have my own startup. I always prefer to have a simple codes which can help my end user to understand as well. Right? Features we already discussed. It's very powerful programming language. It can do a lot of things, a lot of applications we can build. Now let's try to understand the data life cycle. Now, for example, if you are working in any company, let's say I am having a retail store. Now, what happens in retail store? When we are going, let's say I am a customer, I am going to retail store. There is one guy who is at the counter. So once you are purchasing all the products, this guy will generate the bill and he will give it to us. So this data which is generated by this guy will be of Why would we want our end user to able to go through our codes? Someone is giving you the requirement and they want to check. There is a concept of UAT, right, Devendra? So they will have to have idea. If you are creating some code for some company, they should have idea that what's going on. So end user cannot be only the end user; it can be a technical guy from the company also, from your client also. That's why we have to show that. I hope it makes sense. Same way, there are other thing also, which is like more of a marketing information which I am generating. So here we have the marketing data set which is getting generated. So this type of data which is getting generated is more of a operational data source. Now let's say there is a client who is looking for understanding this entire data set, how things are going on, how the sales is going on, how is the marketing going on, and all those details, right? So now I will go ahead and I will basically put this data in my data warehouse, right? Now in the data warehouse, I will clean my data set as per the business requirement. For example, let's say there's a sales happening. Any customer with $0 to $1,000 will be my bronze customer. Any customer with $1,001 to $2,000 will be my silver customer. And any customer with $2,001 to $3,000 will be my gold customer. And anyone above $3,000 will be my platinum customer. Right? So I'm segregating my customer based on the purchasing power. So let's say this is one of the business logics which I wanted to apply. Now, once all the business logics are applied, I have two phases coming from here. One is data analytics, and second is machine learning. Now, basically, in data analytics, what we will do, as we are generating a lot of data, I want to go ahead and I want to understand, let's say my retail store is in various different locations. So I wanted to understand which region is performing better or which region is not performing better, which marketing campaign is doing good or which marketing campaign is not doing good, which customer is my high value customer, which product is not doing good. So all those type of analysis we can do so that business can take some quick decisions from the data set which insights which you are giving to the business, right? For example, let's say one of the regions is not doing good. So I will check whether the marketing campaign is good or not, whether customers are coming to that restaurant more to that retail store more frequently or not. So that type of analysis we will do, and then based on that we will find out that what are the problems and we'll try to fix it. So that is the job of a data analyst. Same way, machine learning engineer will help me to do some predictions by applying the mathematical and statistical concepts. For example, there is a new customer coming in. I wanted to know whether this customer will purchase the product or not, right? So based on some mathematical and statistical concepts, I will go ahead and I will do the predictions. So that is again done by Python. That is data analytics also can be done by Python, and machine learning will definitely be done by Python. Regarding data analytics, there are other tools as well like Tableau software and Power BI. So we can use these two also for the reporting point of view. But if you are not having much budget, if you want a free solution, then Python comes into picture. You can use Python as well. So that is the entire architecture which you have. And in any field, right, whether it's retail, whether it's sports, whether it's politics, whether it's telecom, whether it's finance, everywhere data is there and the flow is more of a like this only. Now, what I am going to do here is I am going to import few packages which we are going to talk about, where we are going to use it. Okay, so there is one question, difference between DA and ML. So DA is more of a descriptive type of analytics. That means whatever data you have, you will go ahead and you can try to find the insights from it. However, machine learning is from the data which you have, you will do the predictions on that by applying the mathematical or statistical concepts. Right? That is how it works. Now what I'll do, I'll import 3 packages here. One is Pandas, Numpy, and SNS, Cbon. Now, when we are installing Python in our machines, these packages will come along with that. But for this particular page, for this particular instance, I want to import these packages. What does that mean? It means if I close this window, this particular package will not be available. I have to re-import it. Or if I create a new Jupyter page and if I look for Pandas, it will not be there. It's a session specific. Let me show you this. Suppose I am creating one variable a is equal to 10. Now here you can see a is there. But if I go and look for a here, it will not be there. Why? Because it's running on the RAM, right? It's running on the RAM. Now, as it is running on the RAM, it's a session specific. So whatever you are doing here will not be present here. Whatever you are doing here will not be present there. Okay. That's the reason this import we have to do every time when you are launching a new page. Installation is already done because we install Anaconda. These packages are coming by default. So installation is already done. It's just importing you have to do every time. Now I'm giving the alias also. I don't want to write pandas every time. What I'm doing here is that I'm going ahead and I am basically giving the alias to it. Right? Now, you will not get this Jupyter notebook, but I'll give you my Python repository. So kindly wait for some time. Right? Please concentrate on the session. That is important rather than whatever you are going to get or not. We will discuss that at the end. Now, what my interest is, first of all, I want to go ahead and I want to tell you if the package is not there, then how to install it. For example, let's say Numpy is not there. So I will write exclamation pip install Numpy and I will execute this. Obviously, I will not do it now because it's already there in my machine. But if you guys want to install the package which is not there in your machine, you can use this type of command. Exclamation pip install the package name, right? So that is you will have. Now, what is the power of Numpy? Again, for every package, there is a website. So if I go to Google and look for Numpy, there is a website for it. So Numpy package is created by someone else and we are leveraging this for our work. Now, someone who created this package, they are not charging us. The reason being they are getting good fundings already from big companies. Right? So we will have to use this without any cost. It's a free of cost for us. All the documentations are available here. If let's say I want to know about Numpy is what? It's a numerical Python. Or whatever numerical or mathematical executions I have to do, I will use Numpy. So let's say I'm going to the documentation and I'm looking for square root. Simple example, SQRT. I wanted to know how to basically use the square root function. So I'll go and look for that function SQRT. And you can see here we have the option numpy.sqrt. When I click on that, it will give me all the documentation that how to use Numpy and how to use square root function, what all inputs we have to pass. There will be some sample examples as well. So that will give us the brief idea that how things work here. Now, why we are using Numpy? There is one inbuilt module is also there, which is math function in Python. So why are we not using math function? Why are we using Numpy? The reason being Python, one of the problems with Python is it's a slow programming language. And here you can see that Numpy is created on top of C programming language. C programming language is one of the very fastest programming language. Now, why I am saying that Python is a slow programming language? Let's take one example. Let's say I'm having a sales list. Now list is one of the data structures which we have in Python. I am passing some number here and I'll write profit is equal to some numbers. Now my interest is I want to go ahead and I want to calculate the profit ratio. So what I'll do, I'll try to divide profit list by the sales list. You can see that I cannot divide a list by list. Now what is the solution? The solution here is that I want to write a for loop. My interest is I want to pick up the first value, divide by first value, second value, divide by second value, and so on. The index in Python starts with 0. That means if I write profit of 0, it will give me the first value. Same way, if I write sales of 0, it will give me the first value, like that. So I will write a loop here for I in range 0, length of sales, print profit of I divided by sales of I. Now let's try to understand this logic. My I will vary from 0 to length of sales. What is length of sales? 1, 2, 3, 4. So range 0, 4. So range 0, 4 will give me what? 0, 1, 2, 3. So it will give me 0, 1, 2, 3. Now the value of I will be what? The first value of I will be 0. So profit of 0 divided by sales of 0. Second value of I will be what? Profit of 1 divided by sales of 1. Profit of 2 divided by sales of 2, and so on. So this is how I have to write the loop. Now, this is gonna be, just imagine when we are having millions of records. So what will I do? It will be a time consuming process. It's a row by row processing which you are doing. It's a time consuming process. So we don't prefer that. So we are having Numpy. Numpy is created on C programming language and we can integrate that with Python. So Python is one of the very powerful programming language which can be integratable by various different programming languages. Right? I can integrate Java with Python, I can integrate R with Python, I can integrate C with Python, and so on. Many programming language I can integrate with. So here I am going to use Numpy. So what I will do is I have the sales. I am converting this to an array. Now this array concept comes when Numpy is there. When Numpy is there, then only array will be there. When Numpy is not there, we have only lists and tuples and all those things. So I will convert this to an array because array is a function coming from Numpy. I am converting this and making this as an array. Array is like a vector. You must have gone through your school days and having concept of linear algebra. So we are having scalar quantity, which is a single value. A set of values is a vector, which is again array. So I'll show you that. So for example, let's say you are having a single value, then you are nothing but scalar quantity. When you are having multiple values, you are a vector. When you are having rows as well as columns, you are a matrix. And when you are having collection of matrix, that is known as tensors. Now all are arrays. It's a 0-dimension array, 1-dimension array, 2-dimension array, n-dimension array. So here we are creating an array, which is nothing but vector because it's a 1-dimension array. So I am creating this as sales underscore array. And same way, I am going to create np.array for profit as well. So now we are having two arrays. One is profit array and second is your sales array. And the best part here is that I don't have to write any for loop. I can directly divide the arrays by arrays. So you can just imagine here I am having millions of records. I have to run row by row processing, time consuming process. But here just one division and we are done. So that is the power of this particular packages, which is helping me to perform the things faster. Now same way I can apply square roots and all those things I can do. For example, np.sqrt and let's say I'm passing 25. So I'll get the square root of the same. Okay. How can I show it in percentage? You can multiply with 100. And then there is other options which we have which can be used in which is present in Pandas. Now, so that is about Numpy, which gives you a brief idea that mathematical calculations will make it easy for you. If the length of the profit array and sales array different, then it is not possible. If it is different, then it will do only first three. If there are 3 in one list, 4 in other list, so it will give me the first 3 only. How do we know the different functions in Numpy? Numpy website is the option or the place where you can go. Here in the documentations, you will get everything. Now the next is Pandas package. Now Pandas is a package which is helping me to understand about how to read the data from the external sources. For example, let's say I'm having an Excel file, I'm having a CSV files. I want to read that data. So when you are having a structured data and you want to read it in Python, then we can use Pandas as a package. Again, Pandas comes with Anaconda. If you are using Python from Python website, in that case, you can go ahead and you can basically do this. What do you say? Explicitly install it using pip command. So now what I will do is I will go ahead and show you one data set. Now this is the data set which we have. This data set is basically the data set for your Titanic survival or non-survival this thing passengers. So here you can see we are having a lot of different columns coming in. Passenger ID 0 means whether the passenger is survived or not. So 0 means did not survive. 1 means survived. Different class we have, the patient, the traveler names we have, the gender we have, the age group we have, then the siblings, then parent child relation. Then we have ticket number, fare, cabin, and embarked, from where they boarded the ship. I'll go to the website here, which is known as kaggle.com. So I took this data from here. Here you will get a lot of data set, which is a real-time data set which you have, right? Which will help you to do practice. Now, so where does Pandas and Numpy will be useful? Is it data science, data analysis? Both. Everywhere whenever you are dealing with a data field, this is very useful because at the end you have to use the data, you have to pick up the data. Pandas will be used, and also you will do some mathematical calculations. So Numpy will be used. So in both the fields, you will need these packages. So in this particular website, you will get a lot of data set from different domains and different types of businesses, right? So here you can see the data set. We have survival. So I took the data set from here. If you go to data, you can get below to download the data. I'll ping you guys this link for your reference. All right. So here you can see we have survival 0, that is no, survival 1, that is yes. That means in my data set, if I see 0, that means he did not survive. 1 means he survived. Now, let's see another columns. We are having ticket class. So when ticket class is 1, it's a first class, 2 is second class, 3 is third class. Or you can see here also, ticket class is 1 is upper class, second is middle class, third is lower class. So that is again one more column. Then we have sex column, we have age in years, number of siblings, spouses aboard the Titanic, number of parents, children aboard in Titanic. Ticket number, passenger fare, cabin number, and port of embarkation, from where you boarded the flight, from where you boarded the ship. So here you have C means Cherbourg, Q means Queenstown, S means Southampton. And that is what you can see in your data set as well. CSQ. So what I will do, the very first thing which I will do is I will read this data set in Python and put it in Python, right? So I'll use Pandas package. I am going to use Pandas package. So pd.read, it's a CSV file, comma separated value file. If you are using Excel file, you can just write read_Excel. But my file is a CSV file, which is present in my desktop. So I will first go to the location where the file is present. I'll pick up this part. Here is the file present, and I'll put it here slash Titanic data, right? So I basically went ahead and I got the entire path here. When I will execute this, you can see that I am getting the entire data set. And let me give one variable where I will store this data. So I read all the data from the CSV file and I am putting it here. Now there is no relation between this data and that file. That means if you are making any changes here, nothing will happen there in the CSV file. And when you are making changes there, nothing will happen, right? Because it is in the RAM memory. Okay. Now, the purpose of Pandas is to read the data from the external sources. You can read the data from databases, you can read the data from files and whatever different data sources we have. Now, what my interest is I want to do some data manipulations before I proceed further and create some charts. Now, what type of data manipulations I want? I know that 0 means no, 1 means yes. So I want to change it. I don't want 1 and 0 because it's not very intuitive. So I want to go and change that. Same way, P class, 1 means upper class, 2 means middle class, 3 means lower class. So I will update that also because 1, 2, 3 is again not making any sense to me. Same way for embarked, I'll give the location name itself instead by just passing this one character. I'll give the location name, Southampton, Cherbourg, Queenstown, and so on. I'll put that values. So these are the modifications which I will do before I go and create some charts on top of that. So I have the data set. In that data set, I am interested in which column as of now? Survived column. Now, what do you want to do? I want to map. What do you want to map? I want to map. I'll pass a dictionary here. Now, dictionary is again also one more type of data collection, or I can say, what do you say? Data structure, right? Dictionary is like a key value pair. I'll pass a key, I'll pass associated value. What is the data type of data set now? It's a data frame, right? So the data set which we are having, it's not an array anymore. When I go and check the type of it, it's a table, and table in Python is known as data frame. So now what I want is I want to go and make it wherever you are finding 0, make it as no, comma, wherever you are finding 1, make it as yes. And then I will override on the survived column. So now when I go and check my data again, you can see that for the survived column, you are having yes or no. Yes means that particular passenger survived. No means that passenger did not survive. Same goes with P class. Let's make the changes there also. Let's copy this part. The coding will be almost the same. Just the column name will change. Here the column name will change. And here I will say wherever you are having 1, you are the upper class. Wherever you are having 2, you are the middle class. And wherever you are having 3, you are the lower class. And execute. So now when I go and check my data set again, you can see that I updated my P class as well. And finally, I want to update my embarked field as well, right? Now, everything in Python is case sensitive. The column names are case sensitive or to be inserted as intent. It's case sensitive, right? No. It will not affect the original CSV, right? I already mentioned that whatever you are doing here, nothing will change in your CSV. Now, I'll go ahead and I will basically pass the embarked field. Data set dot embarked dot map. Now here what I want, wherever you are seeing S, I want to write Southampton. Wherever you are seeing C, I will write Cherbourg, and Q, sequence down. Right, so let's go and copy this. And now when I go and check my data set, you can see that we have the values now. Okay. How to get the unique values for the column? To get the unique values for the column, we have a command called unique command. So basically you have to run that command to get it. For example, data set, my column is embarked dot unique. So here you will get all the unique columns. There are some nans also, that means there are some null values also. Can we write that object in? Yes, we can write it to different this thing also. We can export this data to different file also. Why we need to manipulate the data set or clean data? Because by seeing just the flags, we will not understand, right? We will not understand what's going on. 1 means I don't know, 0 means I don't know. Business knows that, but I have to understand, or I want to make my end user understand also. Plus, there are some null values, all those things I have to clean, because when you are doing any predictions, you should give the proper data. So data cleaning is very important part of the entire data journey. So till the time you're not cleaning it, you are putting garbage to the model and you are going to get garbage out of it, right? So that is the problem. Anyway, so let's proceed further. Can we replace nan or null with? Yes, we have various techniques to populate the missing values that we can do. We can absolutely do that. Anyways, let's proceed further. So I already imported the Seaborn. So we are now having Seaborn. My interest is now what is, I want to go and I want to understand how many passengers survived and how many passengers did not survive. Okay. So I'll use my Seaborn SNS dot count plot. I already imported Seaborn at the top, SNS. I gave the alias. Where is that? Yeah, here you can see Seaborn. So I gave the alias already. So data is equal to data set, comma. We have X is equal to survived. And here you can see majority of the people did not survive in that mishap. Okay. We can apply some filters also. For example, let's say in my data set, I just want to know how many males are there. I can apply filtering. So data set sex is equal to male. S is capital here. So let's make it S capital. So you are getting all the males. Now I will apply a length on top of that. This will give me total number of males. Right. So I will go ahead and first of all check my length of the data set. How many records we have? Out of 891, 577 are male. The rest are females, or maybe nulls, maybe there. Now I want to check how many nulls are there in which field. That also we can do. Data set dot is null dot sum. So in the age and in the cabin and in embark, we are having nulls. Apart from that, rest of the columns are having no nulls. So from this chart, I got to know that yes, there are around more number of males who died because of this particular accident, and females are less, right? Something like that, right? It's sorry, more number of male female are not there as of now in the chart. It's like more of people died, less people not died, right? Like that. Now I will go ahead and I will break it to gender. How many males died, how many females died, because this was the overall picture. Again, I will going to use the count plot. We can use the count plot. So SNS dot count plot, data is equal to data set. Then we are having X is equal to your what we want? We want sex as a column. So you are having male and female. Here I use the survived. Okay, here I am using sex column. But now I want to break it. I want to know, okay, there are these many males, there are these many females. So what I'll do, I'll write comma, and there is a concept called hue. Hue is for color. I will add the color survived. And now you can see this plot coming in. Okay. Now what does that mean? From this chart, I can say that there are more number of males died because it's in blue color. Less number of males survived. Less number of females died. More number of females survived. And that, if you guys have seen this movie, you must have seen that they were first taking care of the kids and the ladies, and then it was males, right? So that is how it works, and that makes sense. Now let me introduce the another field, which is, so we already checked that more female survived, less male survived. We already checked that. Now I'll go and maybe try to understand how many people are there in the ship with different age groups. So I will write the histogram, which will help me to do the distribution. Histogram is nothing but the distribution of your data, or you can say the frequency distribution. So SNS dot hist plot data set age. And now you can see that from this plot, you are seeing that there are more number of people coming from this age group, right? Majority of the people are coming at this age group, around 15 to roughly 35. And there are good amount of kids as well, 0 to very small infants are also there. It's a good volume actually. So that is what you can see here. So majority of the people are at this group. Now I want to know from the data set that, let's go back to the columns. I want to know like what is the embarked population. Like for example, people coming from Southampton, whether they died more, or people coming from Sherbrooke or from Queenstown. So let's introduce that column as well. So SNS dot count plot data set is equal to data set. X is equal to your embark. And you can see there are majority of the people coming from Southampton, few from Sherbrooke, and very few from Queenstown. And if I go and add the survived in the color, I will understand how many people survived from these locations or people coming from that. So here you can see there are more number of people died in coming from Southampton, because obviously there are more people were there from that location. So obviously the chances of people dying from that location also very high. Here you can see majority of the people survived as compared to died, and here also there is a bit of lower side of the survival. So that is what you can see here, right? So this type of analysis we can do. We can also check various different things like what is the, for example, let's say it's not gonna make much sense, but let's create that age and the fare. How many people are spending money on which age group, right? So let's do that. So we'll use the scatter plot, LM plot. Data is equal to data set. x-axis is age, and your y-axis will be fair. So here you can see that this is the plot coming in. So this is the plot which is showing me the age versus the fare. There are some customers here or travelers here who actually spend a lot of money. Maybe this is like last moment ticket or something like that, right? And if I add your survival here, survived here, you can see that those guys survived also, right? So they spend good money and they survived also, so that is good. But here you can see it's a mix of population, right? So the blue ones are, again, you can see which did not survive. Here you can see clearly orange ones. Looks like people from upper class, they survived a lot because obviously the ticket volume is high, the fare is high. So I am assuming from this chart that people from the upper class survived more as compared to other class. Let's check that also because we have that field also with us, P class. So let's go and create the chart. So sns.count plot, data is equal to data set, x-axis is your P class, and then I'll put the color as survived. And you can see that clearly upper class people survived. You can see here there are more survival for the upper class as compared to the lower class and the middle class. And that is what roughly that scatter plot gave us the idea. With higher fare, there is more number of oranges. That means there is a higher chance that people with upper class survive more as compared to others. Okay. So I hope this makes sense. This is what I wanted to discuss. Let's search for Jack. All right. He did not survive, I guess, right? So he will be somewhere in the blue color. Lower class. He was in lower class. So blue color, lower class, he will be somewhere here. Cool. So this is what I have. I wanted to discuss. Any questions you guys have, please let me know. So I'll share my GitHub repository link as well if you guys want to have some coding files. So this is the link where you can get a lot of Python specific codes for your reference. So here is the link. And this code I will share. Okay, give me a second. I'll save it. Titanic. So let's save this guy. In the meantime, any questions, please let me know. I forgot the password for my repository. I'll put it in a Google Drive and I'll ping you the link. Give me a sec. I'll take the questions. Give me a second. I just upload this and I see some of the questions. So I'll just take it. Plus. Yeah, I'll share this link. So you can see it's opening up directly in the Google Collaboratory. Okay, so I pinged you on the chat window. How can we map the data S to Southampton, C to Surburg, and rest as default? So rest you can just pass some random text and that will be done, right? Whatever the third left is will be again assigned to every other values. This session create my interest in Python. All right, thanks. Excellent session. All right, thank you. Will you do more sessions? I am not sure that you can check with SkillUpRight. But you can understand this programming language is very simple, very powerful, very interesting. You will enjoy this, no doubt about that. And at the same time, if you are interested to get into the data field, you have to first understand the data, right? Till the time you are not understanding the data, you will not enjoy it. As simple as that. So whatever you are working on, you should have passionate about that data set, and then only it will make sense. Else it will be like boring stuff. Okay. We cannot create the interactive dashboards using Python, but yes, we can do that using Tableau or Power BI. For Python, there is a package called Plotly that gives us bit of this thing, bit of interactivity. So Plotly is one of the packages which gives me a bit of interactivity. So this you can go for. Okay, this is a nice package. Lot of pings actually coming in, so I have some of the questions I am missing. So sorry for that. Okay. All right. Still we have 5 minutes. So the graph plot you have showcased just now, can count be shown as a label? Yes, we can do that. Again, normally I am using Tableau and Power BI a lot. But if you are looking forward to have the annotations and everything, right, you can go to the Seaborn website and you will get all the documentation there. Here you can find all the tutorials and documentations. There you will get everything. Because in the industry, normally people are using Tableau Power BI for a better interactivity. And this is more for our own perspective, our own understanding perspective. That's why we are using this. Unable to copy the links. Which all links I have? Okay, I'll ask the SUR team to send you guys the email. Can we use VLOOKUP like function? Yes, VLOOKUP is like a joins. So in Pandas we are having. So I'll show you that. In Pandas we are having that concept which is known as merge. As I already give you this link, here you can find, go to Pandas, look for file number 2. And here you can see there is a mention file number 1. So here you can see there is a merge command. So merge command is helping me to do a join, right? Which is, you can specify the joins also. Either join left, join right, join full join, outer join basically. Okay, so that we can do. So it's like a VLOOKUP. Also, if you want to do union, in that case, we have this guy, concat command. Concat will do that. One table below another table, like that. Can we write SQL queries? We can connect to Python with Oracle or any database and we can write it. I think I have that also in here. Oracle connectivity. So here you can see. So you have to import one of the packages, which is known as CX Oracle. Then you can connect to the Oracle and then you can write the queries. Here you can see I'm dropping the table from Oracle. I am inserting the records in Oracle. I am inserting with certain conditions, right? All those things you can do. To become data scientist, do we need to be expert in Python? You should be aware of Python. At the same time, you should be more aware of the algorithm. Again, Python is a very powerful programming language. Every machine learning codes are already built, right? And you just have to run that. So your thorough knowledge should be there in Python, not very deep, that's okay. But once you start learning Python, you will enjoy it. Automatically, you will try to see or think that, yes, I want to know more about it, right? That is it's a love which you will have with Python. That is for sure. Okay. And if you're coming from non-technical background, I see one message coming from Kiran. Non-technical background, have 12-year experience working team leader US healthcare. I would like to learn Python, which is the best way to start learn Python. There are various ways. Go to Python website, you will get some tutorials. Then there are a lot of other stuffs. Like if you go to each modules, each packages, there is a website. You will get all the documentation there also. There are a lot of open source materials available. You can go to SkillUpRight website as well. There also you will get a lot of interesting information. A lot of things are there available in the internet, so you can go and learn that. How can you connect with me in future? Okay, so you can maybe connect with me on LinkedIn. So this is my LinkedIn. Okay. All right. Anything else? Any other doubts? Not able to download the content shared link. I'll share it with SkillUpRight if you are not able to download it. What do you suggest for beginners? Scikit-learn, TensorFlow, Python, or Keras? Scikit-learn. Go with Scikit-learn first of all. How IRCTC website is handling data analysis? I'm not sure about it, but maybe they are obviously they must be using Python because it's under Infosys or TCS, I guess. They are using it quite extensively. What are the methods used for data cleaning? It depends again. So we have a missing value, we have to treat them. We have an outliers, we have to treat that also. Then when we are applying some data science algorithms, we have to convert the data from text to numbers. As of now, what we did, we converted numbers to text. One class as upper class, two classes middle class. But in data science problem, when we are doing the predictions, we have to convert text to numbers because machine will do processing on numbers, not on the texts, right? It's all maths and stats. So you have to have numbers to it. So that is known as encoding, converting the categorical to numbers. So that we have to do, right? That is one thing which you should be doing. These are some of the steps which you can do for data cleaning. As a beginner, which is the programming you start? Python is good. As a beginner, you go with Python and you will enjoy Python. You will get a lot of opportunities in Python. All right, so this is what I have. I hope this makes sense and hope to see you guys again with some more interesting topics. Yeah, that is what I have. Take care, guys, and I hope you guys will have nice transition into this field of data science.